I've seen plenty of tracks. There's some stuff out here.
Dave's survival strategy stands in opposition to Cody's gatherer philosophy.
I hunt all seasons, I hunt all types of game. I hunt with all types of weapons, from primitive weapons to modern weapons to homemade fashioned weapons. I have to do what I have to do to fight Mother Nature because Mother Nature's unforgiving. She doesn't let you survive. If you just laid here half naked like Cody does, you don't survive.
Burning through calories to track game is a gamble. If it takes more energy to find food than it provides, it's a losing one.
Okay, now we got a set of tracks right here. We know what animals are in this area. There's probably porcupines, we know there's squirrels. So we can, by process of elimination, we can tell these are small tracks. Most likely this is a squirrel. But the good thing about this is it's telling us there's small game in this area. I want to do some trapping. I want to find something to bring back to the table for Cody. Okay, this is a good spot right here for our deadfall. I can see some tracks back in here. I know that there's squirrel in here, I know there's rabbits, I know there's raccoon in here. You know, this is a real simplistic trap. I have these nasty old clams in my back pocket. We'll just break that nasty thing up and put them on the end of this skewer for bait. Oh yeah, put my bait stick in here, back my deadfall up in there.
A deadfall trap consists of a heavy log and a baited trigger.
The idea is to get that thing just barely pivoting on this trap.
The log needs to be 5 times the weight of the prey to work.
All he has to do is move it. It's not going to kill a 20-pound raccoon, but it will kill a small weasel, a marten, a squirrel, something like that that comes in here just nibbling around. It's winter. The animals right now are scavenging for food everywhere. I got to set at least 6 to 8 more if it's going to produce anything for us in the next few days for meat.
Hey.
How you doing this morning?
Oh, a bit whipped.
You know, food's food in a survival situation, but I've got to get some 4-legged furry critters, man. So I'm going to go out and scout around, do some hunting.
Right.
Is there any way that you could get that signal fire lit?
Yeah, I'll light it.
I'll get my stuff together and I'm going to head out in just a second.
Okay.
Cody's out there hunting periwinkles and snails and stuff. I want to bring back some big meat sustenance for some fat and some protein. Okay, look up here now. This is the sure sign that a porcupine's been in this area. This tree's been ringed out at the top. Porcupine love to eat pine bark in the wintertime. They feed on that stuff voraciously.
Porcupines are slow-moving animals, but because they spend much of their time in trees, they are difficult to catch.
Okay, this is bad. It is bleeding some sap, so it hasn't been long ago. Problem is, it snowed so much right here, tracks are covered. So we're just gonna have to move on, see if we can find some true tracks. Porcupines ravaged that one over there, heavy duty. I can stick him with this point, but he's not gonna die immediately that way. Not a porcupine because they're too thick-skinned. They got too much hair. The best thing I can do is just a blunt force trauma. And if I can catch him on the ground, one swift crack behind the neck will kill him instantly. And that's the most humane way to do it. If there's small game I'm tracking, I like to get as close to the ground as I can get because on a flat level, it's easier to see movement. I just saw a porcupine run through here. I'm pretty sure it was a porcupine. killing an animal, my first priority is a clean, humane kill. One shot, blunt force trauma, behind the neck, crack the spine, usually kills him immediately. And then I'm gonna go in, cut the animal's head off to make sure he doesn't suffer at all. And that's my only goal when it comes to killing an animal. Hopefully, Cody's out here lighting our signal fire. When he gets back, I'll have a hot meal waiting on him, and it means everything to our morale.
After food, water, and shelter, the ultimate survival priority is an escape route.
I'm ready to go to light a signal fire. So this is the only fire we have on the island, so I'm transferring the fire by lighting this cattail head. Essentially, this is compressed fuel. This might burn for hour and 15 minutes in a windless condition. The same amount of fuel, if I busted up the cattail, would burn within seconds. So because the oxygen is limited, it burns slow, like a punk. Just like this fire has cooked clams and provided warmth for us and melted snow for water, it's now gonna signal for rescue.
There's a little bit of concern in my mind right now as far as, you know, all the prickles on this dude. I'm gonna try to avoid the back and just gut it right up the front. I'm trying to stay just underneath the skin with this. I don't wanna break that into that gut cavity, because if I end up splitting the gut at all, it can taint the meat, and I don't want that.
E. coli bacteria, which lives in the intestines of all warm-blooded animals, can cause serious, even fatal food poisoning.
See that hole right there? That's gonna lead to the gut cavity. That's what I was looking for. This is a jewel right here. That is the heart of that dude right there. Just like your heart, just like my heart. This is where that animal's spirit lives. That's the real deal. Connection with the animal.
Inuit cultures rely on organ meats, which are much higher in vital nutrients to survive in Arctic climates that lack fruits and vegetables.
Got some thick hide and a lot of fat on them. You can actually burn that fat, just like a fat lamp. Like with an oyster shell, you can fill that with tallow, make yourself like a seaweed or an old man's beard, piece of cordage for a wick and lay that in there, light it on fire, and it would burn for maybe 2 hours.
Animal fat can also be used for waterproofing or as a lubricant, but it's put to the best use when it's ingested.
Animal fat is what you have to have. If you don't have fat, sooner or later, you will die. There's a lot of meat on here, which means a lot of calories, a lot of fat, a lot of protein, and a happy hippie when he comes back.